All right, is this thing on? What's up, folks? Gray here, and with the thumbnail in hand, I thought to continue YouTube or not to continue YouTube. I figured that would be a great conversational piece. Also, moving forward with YouTube, which I do hope to continue. A lot of times, every year around this time when I take my vacation away from YouTube at 2 or 3 weeks off to kind of enjoy, life and get things done and be with family and whatnot, I always ponder, do I want to keep on doing YouTube or, things like that. And here's the thing, as I was gonna take notes and do a bunch of weird stuff and kind of go over different specific things, but I figured why not just go off the cuff, just straight from the brain. And so after giving a long, hard thought, I'll probably continue to do YouTube. Mainly, it's something that I enjoy doing. And also, I know you, the community members, at least the core of you guys really enjoy the content that I produce. Some of you folks would probably, if I put cat videos out, would probably watch those as well, which is greatly appreciated. So here's what I want to do in this video. First, I want to welcome everybody back to the channel. Been gone for a while, about 3 weeks or so. And my first video for 2025, I just kind of wanted to have a little bit of discussion with you, my viewers, in regards to moving forward and what's going to happen to the channel. I've been thinking about a lot of different things. And I love the weather that we're having in Florida right now, in the aspect of it's just perfect to do outdoor stuff. It doesn't last very long. But I still try to get out here even in the summertime. Got to push yourselves, But I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful New Year moving forward. And man, that sun is not letting up, but it feels good because the temperature here is great. That being said, I thought about all the people that are going through really hardcore situations right now with the weather. That polar vortex moving in and people getting tons of snow and frigid temperatures and ice storms, which create, of course, a calamity in regards to the electrical power grid and stuff like that. Hence why I like to focus on emergency preparedness. Folks, with the channel itself, as you guys know, over the last year, I, of course, lowered my frequency on posting. And the reason that is basically is I do have a couple of other jobs, small businesses that I run, as well as family and stuff like that. But I try to make time for you guys here on the channel. I like doing reviews. I know some people hate reviews. Some of you guys out there I know hate reviews. But I personally like doing them. It's just something that I enjoy doing. The talking head thing, you know what I mean? Which is what I'm doing right now. Some people are very successful with that. I like to push myself a little bit more, get outside, do some things, and just enjoy what God has created for us. You know what I mean? In my head, I'm thinking of things that I'd like to do. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that I want to record and share with you, my viewers. Specifically, some of the new stuff we have going on in the garden. And I'm experimenting with a couple of different plants this year. I've kind of led into that and kind of hinted on some of the live streams and so on and so forth. And so I want to do more gardening stuff. So for you folks that like the gardening videos, more's coming. The reviews are going to be something consistent, folks. No matter how I look at it, it's just a way to help fund the channel. And it's not saying that you guys have to buy anything, of course. What I mean by funding the channels, it helps me get products that I normally don't have to pay for that relate to emergency preparedness, that work for me and my family. And I like to share them and do these reviews so that maybe it can help someone else out there. They can see, oh, this is how he uses this product. It works for him in this manner. And maybe they can, kind of strewn off some ideas from that aspect and learn, okay, well, this power station does this. This can kind of fit my needs. I need something that's going to run a refrigerator for several days versus, just a couple of hours, depending on the size and, of course, your finances and whatnot. I also have lots of flashlights and other intriguing gear that I like to share with you folks. There's a lot of things that I've kind of held back on, but I'm thinking this year I kind of want to move forward with that. All right, so I had to get out of that sun. That sun was just washing me out on the camera. As I'm looking at this monitor here to the right, it was just very overpowering. It's a little bit more shaded. I don't know. I don't know if it looks good or not. Whatever. It's YouTube, right? Anyways, so where was I? Talked about the gardening thing, talking about the review stuff. There's a lot of different products that I kind of want to move into. There's some really intriguing stuff out there, you know, like the thermal cameras, the specific night vision stuff. There's some very intriguing technology going into different types of flashlights that are multi-purpose, almost like a camping light, but from a flashlight to a camping light to this and that, and you'll see that soon. Something I'm working on in the background and whatnot. So outside of just talking about, you know, doing gear reviews and gardening stuff, I'd like to do more outdoorsy type videos. You know, I said this last year and I didn't really get a chance to do it, which my fault. A lot of things happened last year, got very busy with things. Life gets you busy. You know how it is, man. But remember, some of you folks, we've talked about this. When my first video that I ever put on YouTube was kind of a walk and talk out in the woods, kind of just showing you Florida nature. And I reflect a lot back on that initial video that I dropped to kind of introduce everybody to myself and the channel. A lot of things have changed since then. But I'd like to do a lot more of that stuff as well, just because I'm an outdoorsy person. You know, that's just my personality. I love being out in the wilderness or rural areas and whatnot. It just makes me feel better. I think it's even makes, you know, my blood pressure go down and makes me clear my head. And I spend a lot of times out here. I just don't really bring the cameras with me like I used to. Another thing that I would really enjoy doing is some primitive camping stuff. Also scenario-based stuff. You know, I've been probably saying this for longer than a year, but I would love to do, you know, grab your go bag and stay in the woods for a day or so, you know, see what it's like living off just what's in that go bag. I've pondered those ideas. There's lots of ideas, and lots of people have done this stuff on YouTube. And here's what I've noticed. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to see another video of someone storing rice, or oh, I don't want to see another canning video or dehydrating video or freeze drying video. Believe it or not, folks, that is a very small percentage of the folks that come across those videos, because most folks, I think, are in the mindset of like, I would like to see how this person does it. I want to see how it relates to me and how I do things. Maybe someone, you know, does something different, or you can pick up a little hint or a trick that someone else does differently that will work with what you're doing, you know? So I think by diversifying and having and regurgitating old videos into new videos and old ideas into new ideas is something that everybody could benefit from, at least from my perspective. All right, so moving on to live streams. Rudy and I do our live streams, and I'm thinking about doing some one-off live streams when I have the time. I haven't figured out, you know, I might keep it on a Wednesday because, you know, Rudy's pretty busy with his life as well. And sometimes we just don't have the time to kind of, you know, meet at that right moment and do a live stream. We want to continue what we started and continue that because we both really enjoy that aspect of YouTube. So, but I think I might just do some personal live streams. The topics can vary from things that are in the news or just to basic preparedness ideas and topics that we can discuss moving in, because things change. Things are constantly changing in the preparedness niche of things. Different types of gear, different types of ways to do things, different ideas, and sharing those ideas with one another to me is a wonderful thing, which hence the community is what I love about YouTube, and which actually keeps me here, because if I was doing this and I didn't have a community, I'd probably stop. So I love having met so many great people and shared so many ideas over the past 4 years. We've been here 4 years on YouTube. Ironically enough, YouTube likes to kind of tease you and whatnot. And what I mean by that is they said, hey, in about 2 years, you'll hit 100,000 subscribers, GreyMan. I was like, wow, okay, 2 years. I'll get the little plaque with the little silver button if I make it that long, right? Which is cool and all. I thought that was just an achievement that I know that I've reached that many people and shared my ideas with others. I think that's the main reason why I would even want something like that and to reach that. Because when you nitpick on YouTube, if you're worried about every penny, every view, every comment, every thumbs up, if you really focus in on that, it'll destroy your mindset, because YouTube could be really, really mean. And what I mean by that is there's folks out there that are just not nice people and want to voice their opinion in a negative way, not very constructive. You know what I mean? When I watch a YouTube and if I decide to leave a comment on someone else's channel, that may not be seen in a positive light, I try to do it constructive and to the point where, hey, I saw what you did. It sparked some ideas in my brain. But what about if you tweak this or done that? What are your thoughts on that? You know, to keep that conversation going. And a lot of people don't understand that by creating this conversation down in the comment section actually helps your favorite YouTube personality, if that's what you want to call it, your favorite influencer, your favorite whatever you want to call it. There's all kinds of different terms out for people that do the things that I'm doing here on YouTube. As we get labeled influencers, you know, whatever. And I usually don't like to dive in too much into the political side of stuff, just because it polarizes your channel. And the main issue with that is that there's other people out there that maybe don't want to get hit hard with political content, because then it kind of deters them away from learning about things to help them and their families become better prepared for situations like ice storms, blizzards, tornadoes, hurricanes, and the list goes on. You guys have seen a huge gambit over the last 4 years that I've been on YouTube, from pandemics to natural disasters, just to really bad things happen. And I always feel that if some of those folks in those situations were better prepared, or people around them were better prepared, it could have saved lives. So that's why I do what I do. Also, a side note, another reason I do this is for the family. And the reason I say that for the family is if anything ever happens to me, there is hundreds and hundreds of videos that will be in the YouTube verse of things, just always for them to fall back on, see my ugly mug, as Rudy likes to say, and just kind of, you know, something to enjoy and share with the grandkids and great grandkids and so on and so forth, depending how long all this stuff lasts. So let's try to do a mental checklist here. I've talked about continuing the gardening and sharing that with you folks, the reviews, the outdoor videos, live streams, some things that I'd like to do and hope to do. As always, I always look forward to reading your comments. And what I mean by reading your comments is the suggestions that you guys say. Now, some people say, well, like, Grey, I suggested something, I don't know, a couple of years ago and you never did that video. Well, I do write them down and I have a huge list. It's just sometimes life gets you bogged down. And these are some of the things that I still want to kind of approach, some of the suggestions that have been made over the years. So that's something I'm also I always like reading your comments. To me, I'm a big comment person. I try to read and heart and like 99% of my comments and interact with you, because I figured if you were taking the time to leave a comment on my channel, I probably should take the time to respond if it what's the word I'm looking for? If it sparks a response. There's sometimes comments just someone wants to say, hey, you know, or hey, I'm doing it for the algorithm, which is always appreciated. But, you know, so it doesn't really spark it, but I will heart that, you know what I mean? And there, of course, we get the nasty comments, the really, 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 really nasty comments, which are my favorite sometimes. Just the other day, I had someone say they were really liking my video until I said the word anyways. And the word anyways is supposed to be anyway. And I was a young punk, which made me feel proud because I'm not so young anymore. But anyways, there's entertainment value there. But I feel like they don't provide anything to the community. So usually I just kind of give them the old boot and let them go away and find another channel to leave negativity on. Outside of that, folks, I hope that you're excited as I am moving into 2025 and kind of, you know, popping on the channel and doing some creative content and seeing what I come up with this year. One thing that I do that I haven't done in a while that people really seem to enjoy, that I personally do, at least from what I gather from the analytics, of YouTube is pantry hauls. And the reason I don't do them so much is because I feel like they get redundant, you know what I mean? And so I like to kind of do them when I feel like I want to do them, especially when I do the bigger ones. And I got one coming up, probably maybe towards the end of February, because I buy a bunch of different things and stack them to the side. And you're like, all right, you know what? Let's go ahead and put this for a pantry haul, because this is the stuff that I've been collecting for a pantry haul. And what I mean by that is to kind of show why I chose specific products to put in my pantry, and also kind of get into reasoning behind some of those products. I like to go a little bit deeper than some others. I just don't like to show, hey, look at me, look what I got, and and then cut the channel and say, hey, like and subscribe. I like to go into deeper. Some people don't like that because I talk too much. Unless I'm on the live stream with Rudy. But anyways, and see, that person was watching right now, they would ding me up, thumbs down. He said anyways. These are things that just kind of pop on my head as I'm sitting here doing it kind of off the cuff. Also, one thing I'm going to be focusing on this year is freeze drying. Different techniques that I use to freeze drying, tips and tricks. I know everyone out there does not have a freeze dryer out there, but maybe this might give you some ideas on why a freeze dryer can be an essential part of your emergency preparedness, because they're expensive. So I get that. I had to save up for a year to get mine. I did a little video on that, but I kind of want to show you how I freeze dry ground beef, how I freeze dry recipes and leftovers and eggs. There's so many different ways. I won't inundate you guys with it and bore you to death with it. I love freeze drying. The canning thing, I got into it and I mess around with it. I never put it on YouTube because there's a lot of weird canners out there that will tear you apart. And so, but freeze drying, you really can't go wrong. There's a couple of things that you need to, kind of pay attention to when you're freeze drying. But outside of that, to me, it's one of the best methods for long-term food storage and preservation. And it saves you a lot of money as you move forward with it. The initial investment is what kind of punches you in the stomach. A few other things that I've thought about doing on the channel is stuff with firearms. It's just a very kind of thing to do on YouTube. There's channels out there that do a really good job on it. So I feel like I'm so diverse on my channel. Like I said, I do gardening and food hauls and food preservation, gear reviews, and all these other different things. Because some people say, well, hey buddy, you're not a gardening channel. Why are you doing gardening stuff? Hey buddy, why are you doing this? You're not this kind of channel. Well, I think emergency preparedness kind of encompasses a lot of different things in regards to self-sufficiency. Don't you guys? That's in my mind, I think that it kind of incorporates a lot of different things, gardening and learning how to garden and learning the mistakes of gardening and learning from those mistakes. I've had so much fun growing everything I could possibly dream of in regards to gardening, just to get my hands dirty in that world, so that if I need to garden, if I need to supplement the canned goods, which some people will say are the worst things you can put in your gullet, but food is food at one point or another, especially if you're surviving or in a really bad situation. So that's why I think gardening is an important part, just like the gear reviews. I would love to just do a gear review channel. It's so easy. You have this process, this kind of outline of how you do gear reviews, and it would be easy peasy, right? But no, I like to kind of push the envelope a little bit and kind of jump all over the place. Some people are like, you're not a freeze drying channel. You're not a canning channel. You're not this channel. And it's my channel, and I'm going to probably be very diverse. Anything that I think touches on emergency preparedness, survival, wilderness, this, or all these different terms that are thrown out there, I'm probably going to encompass in the channels. It kind of doesn't do justice for the channel and the growth, but it's just things that I like to share with you, my viewers that have been following me. I know some of you guys have been following me since the beginning, and God, I love you guys. We've been through some fun times, up and downs, Anyways, I think I've taken up enough of your time on this back at it, getting back into YouTube kind of thing like that. I just wanted to talk to you personally, my viewers, or if any new folks happen to come across this video, can kind of get an idea of what we've been doing for the last 4 years. And if you're new, if you happen to come across this video and you're new, drop a comment and let the community know, hey, I'm new here. I like your channel, or I like what you're doing, I like the ideas that you're talking about. And so other communities members can kind of say, hey, welcome to Grey's channel. He does this, he does that, or, you know, whatnot. You know, that's why I always say, hey, can you please share these videos out on your social media? Because we're reaching more and more people. You share it on Facebook, you share it on Instagram, you share it on X, you share it on whatever platform that you happen to be on, and you share these videos out, it reaches more people. So the more people we reach, the more people that we educate. And if they find me, then they find Rudy. If they find Rudy, they may find this person and this person and this person. So then they get, it's like that window into preparedness to a lot of different great channels that are out here on YouTube. All right, folks, as always, remember, you are not alone. This is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys in a rebound. God bless all you amazing people out there. And again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video.